Hello, my name is Jesse Marshall, and I'm here for you with another Argus Security Protection Guaranteed How Is That Fair deck series. So this is very similar to the deck that I played in the 2015 Australian Nationals, to not as much success as I would have liked, but still managed to murder a few people here and there, and which Brian Holland, the host of our podcast, almost managed to take to the top 8, but for a very unfortunate set of last round incidents. So what the differences between that deck and this deck are that we've lost 2 mid-season replacements, which has freed up 6 influence because we've downgraded those to 1 sea source. And with that 6 influence, we've added in 2 data ravens and 1 extra snare. So having the 3 snares gives you a lot more consistency in terms of being able to rely on drawing those and using them in tandem with dedicated response teams to present that threat in remotes. And it also means that your R&D being open is just that little more beneficial for you and that little more dangerous for the runner. So I think having the 3 snares has been a really, really good thing in terms of the consistency of this deck. Having the data ravens has meant that in tandem with Archer, you're able to present really quite dangerous remotes in the mid to late game. So when you're never advancing cards, or when you're playing, all of your 3 advancement requirement agendas, which is every agenda in the deck other than the geothermal fracking, when you're playing those out into the remotes, behind a data raven at the front of the server and then an archer at the innermost position, it's quite difficult for your opponent to be consistently running those when they could be a snare at any point after taking a data raven tag and dealing with the archer. That's often too much for a runner to be able to have to be threatened with 2 tags that they may or may not be able to get rid of at that point. So I found that those servers with at least an archer and a data raven in them have made the never advance plan later in the game just that little bit more credible. Having only the 1 sea source is offset slightly by having the future is now as an agenda in the deck, which obviously allows you to tutor it, and in combination with Atlas means that you've got another option to be able to find your kill pieces, and this is actually a never advance option, which fits in a little bit better with the deck. The future is now is a little bit more difficult than the other agendas to score, just because it doesn't give you back anything. Similar to Kronos Project, which doesn't give you any economy but is more disruptive of the runner. So the Kronos Project sometimes feels a bit better when you initially score it because it's had this immediate impact. The future is not one that you'll always try and score, and even when you do, oftentimes what I'll do is go and grab another agenda with it. If I have a window early where I think I can score it, I'll then grab a profiteering and try and then turn the future is now into a chain of more profitable agendas. Other than that, we've gone up to 3 Jacksons as well. So we've lost the 2 wraparounds because we've now got the Data Raven, which sort of fulfills a similar role, because not only can you have it on your remote, but you can have one on R&D, which disincentivizes repeated runs on R&D, which was sort of what the wraparound was trying to do there against Faust David. And having the extra Jackson Howards just shores up the noise matchup that little bit. So that's the deck as it is now, very similar to where it was last year, just with the Data Raven, sea source instead of mid-seasons, bit of extra snare, extra Jacksons, and also now the Shattered Remains as well. That's one I should probably mention, because that means that everything you advance is no longer an agenda. So you have a trap, an ambush that you can use. So when you advance something, your opponent can't be as sure that it's a geothermal fracking or an Atlas. They have to play around the Shattered Remains as well. It also means that you can keep your Seesaw Scorch plan alive even once they have a Plascrete out, if you can use your Shattered Remains, which is, won a few games here and there. And definitely once you've put the scoring pressure on, as you'll see in the deck videos as we play through the games, having the Shattered Remains installed and advanced in a server is often something your opponent really has to run. So I hope you enjoy the videos. That's it for the deck tech, and we'll dive straight into it. Thanks, guys.